Why is it so difficult to change? You might be someone who is highly self-aware. You know your patterns. You've done the inner work. You've journaled, reflected, and dissected every limiting belief under a microscope. Yet, here you are, stuck in the same loops, feeling like you're playing tug-of-war with yourself. No matter how much you analyze or talk about it, you still feel stuck. It feels like there's an invisible force holding you back. That seemingly invisible force, it's your nervous system. In this video, we're going to journey into the universal struggle of transformation through the lens of neuroscience, ancient wisdom, and quantum physics to reveal the underlying mechanisms at play. That way, you can better manage flow with your own growth and ultimately change. I'm sure it's been a bumpy ride, but I'm here to help smooth the path ahead. So if you're someone who's curious about self-improvement, spirituality, understanding yourself better, or even feeling a bit lost on the journey, then this video is for you. And if you're not, stick around, because you might just find something that resonates with you. Now let's discuss why self-awareness and knowledge are essential, but not enough on their own. The real key to change isn't just more insight, it's embodiment, retraining your nervous system to feel safe with change and new ways of being. You can intellectualize your struggles all day long, but unless your body, your subconscious, which is your deepest wiring, feels safe to change, you'll keep defaulting to the familiar. Because what's familiar feels safe, even when it's not good for you. Your patterns, like anxiety, self-doubt, procrastination, and people-pleasing, aren't just in your mind. They are deeply embedded and live in your body. These emotional cycles are not only mental processes, but physical imprints in your nervous system that have been conditioned over time. You're not just fighting bad habits, you're fighting your biology. To break free from these cycles, you must teach your nervous system that change is safe. The problem is, when your nervous system perceives a shift, it can activate a state of fear or discomfort. This is why it can feel like you're constantly sabotaging your efforts, no matter how hard you try. Because your nervous system is designed to protect you. It doesn't care if you want to be more confident, set better boundaries, or stop procrastinating. It only cares about survival. And survival means sticking to what it knows. The need to feel and be safe is a deep driving force of all life. And when we don't feel safe, our nervous system perceives a threat. This means, in an effort to restore safety, we often revert to old patterns, even when we consciously want to change, because our familiar behaviors offer a sense of control, stability, and security. This dynamic means that, paradoxically, the very dreams and desires we have for a better life or personal transformation can become perceived as a threat to our nervous system. What once felt like a comfortable pattern of existence is now challenged by our aspirations, and the unfamiliar territory of growth can feel dangerous. As a result, our nervous system may unconsciously associate pursuing our desires with risk, fear, or even failure, which might lead to an unconscious resistance or sabotage of our efforts to change, because deep down, the unknown feels like a threat to our sense of safety. Have you ever set a goal for personal growth, only to find yourself stuck in a cycle of resistance and frustration? Whether it's breaking a habit, shifting your mindset, or working toward a long-term dream, meaningful change can often feel incredibly challenging. That's why you can set the biggest, boldest goals and still find yourself shrinking back into old patterns, because your nervous system interprets change as a threat. And here's the thing, your comfort zone isn't always comfortable, it's just familiar. And familiarity creates the illusion of safety. So, why is this? Are we simply wired to stay the same and resist change? Or is there something deeper happening behind the scenes? Science says that creating lasting change requires more than just a shift in thinking. It involves creating new neural pathways in the brain. These pathways are essentially the brain's way of rewiring itself in response to new behaviors, thoughts, and experiences. When you try to change, whether it's breaking a bad habit, adopting a new mindset, or learning a new skill, your brain is essentially creating new connections to support that change. However, this process doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent, repeated effort, because the brain tends to resist change in favor of maintaining established patterns, which have become well-worn grooves in the neural network. This is why change often feels so difficult. It's not just a mental struggle, it's a biological one. Your brain is fighting against the comfort of its old wiring, which feels safe and familiar, even if it's not serving you anymore. Creating new habits or shifting old patterns requires the brain to reconfigure itself, and that takes time and energy. And the nervous system is inherently lazy. This laziness isn't about unwillingness. Rather, it's biological efficiency at work. The nervous system is designed to conserve energy by default, and it tends to favor the path of least resistance. Once a behavior, thought, or habit has been established, the brain forms a stable neural pathway, and the body relies on these automatic patterns because they require minimal effort to maintain. Now, science does a good job of explaining the process of change. But what if we step back and explore a broader perspective? Ancient wisdom and modern metaphysics offer complementary insights that help us navigate personal transformation in a more holistic way. Let's explore two profound concepts. The first is that of alchemy, the ancient practice of transforming base metals into gold. This serves as a beautiful metaphor for personal growth. It teaches us that our perceived flaws, weaknesses, or struggles hold hidden potential and can be intentionally refined into strengths, wisdom, and resilience. Just as alchemists believed in the transformative power hidden within base metals, we too can transmute our fears into courage, our pain into purpose, and our limitations into stepping stones for growth. We too can uncover and nurture our inner potential through conscious transformation. Quantum physics takes it even further. It tells us we exist in a state of potential, where our thoughts and intentions actively shape our reality. This aligns with the ancient Hermetic principle of as above, so below, meaning our inner world directly influences our external world. Simply put, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs influence our actions and decisions, and ultimately, the circumstances we encounter. As such, personal transformation isn't just about self-improvement. It's about bringing your mind, body, and emotions into sync so that change feels natural and sustainable. When all parts of you align, growth stops feeling like an uphill battle and starts becoming a natural evolution. When we connect our inner world through mindfulness, intentional change and self-awareness, we align ourselves with the energy that drives transformation. This empowers us to step into our fullest selves as we recognize that transformation is not just a distant goal. Rather, it's an inherent part of being human and alive. Still, even with this knowledge and awareness, real change can feel unsettling. Why is this? Because this doesn't stop resistance from showing up at every turn. When resistance comes up, it can feel as though the universe is against us. However, it's usually testing our commitment to growth by placing obstacles in our path. Perhaps you've experienced this. Every time you try to move forward, something seemingly pulls you back or makes the journey feel harder than you anticipated. You might feel stuck in a loop, repeating the same patterns, mistaking these challenges for failure. But what if resistance is actually an invitation? What if it's trying to teach you something? What if it's an opportunity to dig deeper and reassess your approach? At this point, you might be wondering, how do we apply this in real life? Well, the true power lies in taking these insights and translating them into action. Here's how you can continue your journey of transformation with ease and confidence. If you find yourself facing obstacles in this moment, instead of viewing them as failures, ask yourself, what is this challenge asking of me? How does this challenge want me to show up in life? Who am I being asked to become in order to handle these situations more effectively? This repetitive cycle may be showing you areas where you need to grow or shift your perspective, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and what you truly need to thrive. The resistance you're facing isn't a sign of failure. It's feedback reflecting to you where your old patterns are most ingrained and where the real work lies. This helps you not only shift habits, but also create new patterns that align more closely with your goals. When you reframe resistance as a learning opportunity, it transforms frustration into curiosity, allowing you to approach your obstacles with openness so that you can keep progressing on your path with confidence and resilience. Another thing to remember on this journey is that you are not a fixed being. You are ever evolving. You're not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday. In fact, every year, nearly every cell in your body is replaced, a beautiful biological reminder that change is not just inevitable, it's also ongoing. That means that the habits, beliefs, and attitudes that no longer serve you are not set in stone. They are simply patterns that can be transformed, refined, and alchemized. So the next time you feel stuck, remind yourself, by choosing a different thought, emotion, or action, I have the power to become a new version of myself. I'm not bound to past patterns or limitations. This frees you from the illusion of permanence and empowers you to welcome change as an inevitable and natural part of your growth. Finally, this process is not about becoming someone new. It's about tapping into what already exists beneath the nervous system conditioning. When we think about personal transformation, we often envision ourselves becoming someone entirely new, shedding old traits and habits in favor of a more polished, idealized version. While this desire for growth is understandable, the truth is that transformation isn't necessarily about becoming someone you're not. It's about reconnecting to the essence of who you've always been. beneath the layers of conditioning and habitual patterns that have built up over time. Remember, you are always evolving, and with each shift, you have the power to step into a version of yourself that is more aligned with who you're becoming.